Hello there. Hi, I'm Stephen Grabo with the Misplaced Comedy Group, and I'd like to welcome you to tonight's show. I'm here to kind of fill you in on a few things that you might be wondering about. If you've never heard of Misplaced Comedy Group before, well, you might have actually heard one or two of our songs on the radio, or on the internet, or on satellite radio, or on the Dr. Demento Show, Fox TV, the internet, various podcasts, iTunes, Rhapsody, Walmart.com, CD Baby, or even maybe accidentally voted for one of our recent #1 hit songs on MP3.com or American Idol Underground.
Misplaced History.
Well, for a history of the Misplaced Comedy Group, let's go back before YouTube, before iTunes, before Facebook, and even that long-forgotten site, MySpace. The Misplaced Comedy Group could be found on all of these sites and more. So let's go back to a time when only 20% of the households even had the internet. So let's go way back, not that far back. 1999. When actor-producer Stephen Grabo met Jeffrey Prekop in line at the Millie Lewis Talent Agency, after winning a bunch of awards at their National American Model and Talent Competition, they realized that they only lived a few blocks from each other and could have carpooled anyway. Instead, they decided to create their own acting troupe. So Jeff brought in his brother Dave, and Steve found comedian Jennifer Feliciano, and they called themselves Misplaced Comedy. Steve brought in John Graddick, his boss at the media firm, and they all started writing radio-friendly comedy sketches. Their second CD, The Afghan Files, immediately hit #1 on MP3.com, and their first single, the Bin Laden Banana Boat song, was heard all over the internet and morning radio. The CD eventually spawned 4 #1 comedy tracks and was eventually featured on CNN Headline News as well as the Dr. Demento Show. While Steve and Jeff started getting more roles in films and various theater productions, The Afghan Files remained at the top of the internet comedy charts for 8 straight months, only to be ousted by Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again and Afro Man's Because I Got High. Eventually, the whole kit and caboodle, a greatest hits of their sketches from the past 2 years, was released. Steve then moved to Sarasota in 2002, and a new chapter of Misplaced Comedy was formed. The CD Good Eats was released in 2003, which developed into a brand new live show that incorporated a 12-foot joke board with the MCG logo, inspired by Rowan and Martin's TV show Laugh-In. The show also incorporated characters from their CDs as well as song parodies and improv. While other troupes in the area started using the same handles as Misplaced Comedy, Steve and his best friend from high school, Bob, started working harder on improving the current website, making it more user-friendly, as well as incorporate music and videos. Remember, YouTube wasn't really around. After several months of recording and promoting, Misplaced Comedy released 2 CDs simultaneously in 2004. Absurd Sensationalism spawned 4 #1 singles on the comedy charts, while their first holiday CD spawned another 3, granting them 17 singles in total in the top 50 on MP3.com at the time. In early 2005, before it was popular, Misplaced Comedy started producing podcasts, becoming one of only 9 podcasts available on iTunes when they first opened their directory. By this time, the Misplaced Comedy Group could be found everywhere online. Their products and videos started to hit the mainstream, with over 150,000 views and downloads a day. Janet Day from Chicago's Second City entered into the picture, along with Linda Cleet, Annie Jackson, and Mackenzie Carney, rounding out a complete cast of Misplaced Comedy Group players. They then started something completely new, video podcasting. By altering various codes, they started combining all of their videos into short TV-inspired programs, which allowed them to be seen in every podcast directory, meanwhile recording for their latest CD. Unreal Estate debuted in early 2006, their longest-running CD with 79 minutes of sketches, song parodies, and mock commercials, granting them 3 #1 singles on American Idol Underground, a website spawned from the then-famous television show. Being back in the spotlight got them to working on a brand new showcase and tour. The show added to the 12-foot joke board by incorporating an 8-foot interactive video screen, where pre-recorded and live video feeds could be seen while interacting with an audience, yet another thing no other independent touring comedy troupe has ever yet accomplished.
Now, how about that?
The show, as well as their new song parodies, got them listed as one of the best emerging artists of the year in American Idol magazine. Their Carrie Underwood parody, Call the Police, was featured on various morning radio stations, as well as hit #1 in comedy on American Idol Underground, as well as all throughout the internet. The local Sarasota magazine even featured them in an article about their endeavors. But with the loss of several close friends and relatives during a busy schedule, took its toll on the MCG as they needed a break. But not before releasing the CD, The Original Podcasts Volume 1, which included the first 2 half-hour podcast shows that broke boundaries as podcasting was just starting. Steve later went on to write a short screenplay called Stalker, and while in process of filming, Misplaced Comedy Group reformed with an even larger cast. After writing and recording for several months, Back for More Abuse was released in 2010, spawning another 5 comedy hits, featured on iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, as well as everywhere else online. New and improved podcasts were created, as well as a brief internet reality show featuring the making of the CD. Since then, the website has improved. The revolving cast of Misplaced Comedy are now back at it again, as they're about to release 2 brand new CDs by the end of 2014, as well as start building and performing a brand new showcase displaying a greatest hits over the past 15 years, showing no matter what happens, everywhere under the umbrella of Misplaced Comedy have fun with every single project that comes their way. We hope that you enjoyed this brief and abridged version of the history of Misplaced Comedy, and feel free to keep posted on the latest CDs, videos, podcasts at misplacedcomedygroup.com.